name's Matthew Otto. I'm the Global Director for SAP Cloud Platform. And the topic we're going to talk about for a couple minutes is about really extensibility, how you can leverage SAP Cloud Platform with our various services and solutions. And we'll go ahead and just dive right into that. So as you know, we are in a experience economy. And with that, we're really looking at how the disruption in the marketplace is going to translate to what our leaders and organizational leaders are moving towards in the future. And when you look at some of the statistics here, based on what was asked of corporate leaders, you'll see that a lot of them really do follow the synergies of disruption and how to go ahead and move to the new next generation ecosystem. For example, 79% really look at the fact that they're going to go in and take these disparate processes that you have in your business and actually really try to align that, not only the process, but across the entire ecosystem. So really get out of those siloed arenas that we've been living in. 72% look at the fact that they are willing to disrupt their own industries to really create that conversation of how you're going to innovate and really bring that next competitive edge into their own customers. And then 59% of leaders really want to look at how they're going to use those next generation analytics to really help drive their decision making. So when we go ahead and we start connecting those ecosystems, really translating that data across the entire space to go ahead and plan for the future. To give you a couple examples of what some of the customers are doing in this space, I'll turn to our first one here, Murphy Oil. Murphy Oil is a North America petroleum exploration as well as a distributor. And they really had a struggling problem with their data. Not only were they looking at how to embrace the evolution of big data, but how could they become more efficient? One of the biggest pain points this customer had was a 25% research and analytic discovery time within their core team. That's just looking for the data and putting the correlations together and all that manual effort just to begin to start doing some of the projects that they wanted to do. What they were looking at from bringing in Cloud Platform was to connect some of their legacy ERP systems with some of their next generation cloud systems. Not only that, they wanted to actually build a centralized cockpit that their user group or their central user team can go ahead and absorb and use, as well as create an app that can actually handle their equipment inventories as well as some of their process tasks. One of the big things that you'll see in terms of the metrics was they did their actual build of the app in 10 weeks. So this is a very agile environment where they're able to actually bring from a prototype to production something very, very quick. But more important, they actually saw the return on their investment of all the technology infrastructure in less than a year. So the dollars were actually being recouped very, very quickly for these projects. And one of the biggest gains that they had was a 15% productivity increase. So this is the same employee population that were able to actually move on and help do new innovations for Murphy, because of the extra time that they had, as well as the more audibility and accountability that the data now was giving them. So it's a very, very powerful story. I highly encourage you to look more. They are one of our Innovation Award winners, and so on the SAP.com website, you can find that. And that was all brought through this Cloud Platform solution. Another example is American Airlines, largest airline company in the world, and they're using Cloud Platform to do a lot of different things. So in their space, not only are they building portal solutions with Deloitte as a partner, they are using Cloud Platform to actually build automated workflow, taking manual processes that typical SaaS does not deliver through success factors and actually building them organically into the solution. So they were able to go live with a new Employee Central core that had a seniority calculator that was something that a team of 30 plus people did manually day after day that drove benefit eligibility, vacation time, scheduling, all these things that for the airline industry requires 2-second accountability for, they are now able to actually do that in the system and have the full audit trail behind it. So now those folks are able to actually go and address other different solutions and processes that they need to do to run their business. But even more than just the building of solutions, they're consuming cloud platform partner innovations. So these are things that are available in the App Center that partners are creating that natively integrate into their solution. So that way, when they look at success factors, this is not just simply APIs that are connecting, but native code that's being put behind that they're able to actually extend their workflow processes. So all this really comes to what SAP determined or is using as our roadmap for the future, and that is building the intelligent enterprise. This is how SAP envisions we see companies moving as they do their disruption, as they do their digital transformation. We're going to get here to the core in a second, but the first right and left side of this diagram are sort of where the heart of a lot of this data resides. Traditional operation data exists over here. This is your very common ERP, people data, travel and expense, financials, all that critical data that your companies are using in what we call the intelligence suite, delivering you the operational data that you're currently driving all your analytics today. Bring in on the experience side, as you may be aware, SAP acquired Qualtrics earlier this past year, one of the leaders in experiential data management. What we're doing is moving to bringing that new X data where you're able to get the sentiment, the pulse data, all that insight that correlates to what the operational data is delivering and being able to translate better decisions, better insights into what we're actually trying to do as a company moving forward. So then we dive over here to the intelligence part. And this is where we have the business technology platform. This is the core. This is a complete capsulated set of tools and resources and technologies that are what help deliver the X+O data. So as you see, we have the 4 market types of technology represented here: analytics, the intelligent technologies, database and data management, as well as application development. And within these 4 areas, all the subsequent layers that are working harmoniously to help either drive the analytics of the data you're looking to get, or drive extension workflows, or putting intelligent technologies like machine learning, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things use cases to life. And then wrapped around this, you have all the various architectural components, whether it's the deployment and how you deploy or where you deploy your solutions to the API network, as well as the environment. So this is something that's very critical to ultimately driving the entire intelligent enterprise that we're bringing forward. Oh, slide's crazy. I guess I didn't update it. The accelerator part of this is really where you can take advantage of some, latest and greatest ways to move faster with some of these tools. Pre-built capabilities are the one thing. So these are built out-of-the-box solutions that help, get you into, either whether it's integration solutions or business services that will really help, jumpstart a lot of the digital transformation that you're looking for. Development environments and development choices. Again, what we are really promoting here is the fact that you get to choose how you want to scale and really leverage, the solutions that you have, the providers that you want to use, as well as the innovations that are going to be delivered, whether it's Azure, SAP, or SAP and Azure together. So, looking at these different areas on how to accelerate is really just designed to help get you into that intelligent enterprise space. When we talk about leveraging cloud platform from an integration standpoint, obviously this is SAP's go-to-market for integration of all of our own products. So within SAP, whether we're talking HR with SuccessFactors or S/4HANA Cloud, or procurement through Ariba, these are all solutions that natively will use cloud platform to integrate with each other. However, it is also the integration platform for non-SAP. So this is how we look at bringing in the whole entire ecosystem of solutions to really streamline what you are looking to build. And then in the middle here, you do have those accelerators that we just mentioned that can help you, whether they're prepackaged business services or whether they're things like the open connectors, where we have a library of over 1,700 partners that you can go ahead and leverage that connection to and have built-in cloud platform technology. So then you can inherit those machine learning intelligence services that you may want to use for those particular connections. All the way down to things like the messaging and API management. So really the integration part is probably one of the key, because it is the most comprehensive and full encompassing integration solution for building out your entire ecosystem. And when we talk about business services, business services is leveraging the industry knowledge and the experience that SAP has with, the processes and stuff in the marketplace, coupled with those intelligent technologies and services that you're looking to drive to. What those are doing are they're creating prepackaged services that you can actually consume today. Whether you're looking at something like translation hubs or master data for business, all the way over to the AI, the machine learning. These are ready to deliver type services that you can now consume through your solutions. And this is also just a sampling of those type of services that you have. So that way you're able to really jumpstart and get moving with your digital transformation quickly. Added an additional slide here, more so also for the link at the bottom so that you can actually get some more information, because we had a lot of customers over the past couple days asking about some of the serverless innovations with the event-driven pieces. So, Cloud Platform definitely has the enterprise messaging components, as well as, you're able to now build and, develop using those event triggers. So, this was just something I wanted to make sure was delivered in the notes so you can actually go back and get some more information. So if you are looking for information regarding this particular business service, there's a hyperlink right at the bottom for that way you can get some more additional insight. And one of the big things that SAP released actually probably about 10 days ago, was the announcement that we have the Embrace program with Microsoft Azure. And that's a very big deal, because now our Microsoft Azure customers will be able to consume the full scope of SAP Cloud Platform services, offerings, technologies, with Microsoft Azure. And so, that's a huge announcement for both parties, because that was one of the things that, from an SAP model, we want to make sure that you have the choice of where you want your cloud hosted. And being able to consume these out-of-the-box business services that SAP is known for is a huge plus. So hopefully with this, you'll be able to reduce some of the complexity that you have and actually be able to scale by leveraging in same cloud components. Really, we have 4 pillars here, that help drive that value proposition with the Embrace program, with SAP being the core, and then you actually being able to take advantage of the reference architecture, the market journeys, where we're going to have the various roadmaps, especially like S4 and industry specific roadmaps that will be delivered, as well as the various business services. The one slide really just gave you an introduction to some of the business services that are available. You'll see a lot more in the next coming quarters, especially early next year, as well as some of the solutions here. Those will be some of the value drivers that actually really help, both the SAP and Azure scenario. So one of the things I want to leave you with a call to action is, as you're exploring Cloud Platform and what that means for your journey, whether you are on the process of actually starting a digital transformation, whether you're looking to go full cloud or ultimately hybrid, being able to look at what Cloud Platform is going to be able to do for you, whether it's integration, whether it's innovation on the development side, you'll be able to see that, we have over 13,000 customers currently consuming Cloud Platform today, and that number grows daily. We have over 1,300 partners that are developing apps, extensions, enterprise-grade solutions on Cloud Platform that are designed for you to consume. And that also should be an important sign that we are not the single source of innovation. You should be able to consume this innovation as it's delivered agilely. SAP alone has also created 50 plus extensions for ourselves that we consume not only for internal purposes, but we do put on the marketplace as well. So we are actively in the future consuming the same cloud platform that we're bringing to market. And then bigger is 1,700 apps that are on our App Center, sapappcenter.com, where you're able to go across all of our cloud solutions, and then even leverage, for in some cases, for the on-prem side, for those hybrid scenarios that benefit. So this is a very powerful set of tools, services, solutions. This, by all means, was just a quick overview since our time was only about 15 minutes. So I thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk today. If you have additional questions, my contact information is here. I'm more than happy to get your information to various teams if I can't answer it. And with that, I hope you have a great afternoon and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.